Carlos Lescano is a multifaceted artist who has successfully made incursions into various forms of art creation. His ability to tell stories and his unique visual universe led him to devote himself entirely to filmmaking. This unique aesthetic universe is characterized by the mixing of textures, a predominance of illustration and pictorial art, and the combination of those with the use of new technologies. The Argentinian animator is one of the top names in stop-motion photography, and with good reason. He has been recognized by the Motion Picture Academy, nominated for the Goya Award, and many others for writing, directing, animation, illustration, painting, and photography. Technology has opened new doors that were unimaginable until not long ago. For Carlos, it has sped up the process and made the blending techniques much easier and fluent. That is precisely how he uses the technology, not replacing the traditional methods, but using them in conjunction. His work is done mainly on handmade elements and organic textures. He uses technology to combine them and add some digital elements to create a distinctive overall look. Using stop motion and other animation techniques, Carlos Lescano has created a stunning short that tells a simple tale of love through the generations. A couple of pencil outlined birds escape from a little girl's garage, leading us through the life she dreams of. Lescano's main goal in creating his animation was to achieve an organic look, away from the perfection found in computer imaging. He used only real objects and hand-drawn illustrations that were later composed in Adobe After Effects. The skeletons were built in wood and twisted aluminum wire, and then modeled in tissue paper and cold porcelain. The school building was made in cardboard and then replicated into a 3D space in After Effects. Some textures we see in objects and characters were photographed as texture maps to be later applied on the 3D object. Other organic textures, such as particles, drops, and autumn leaves, were carefully filmed over a green background and composed into the animation. All characters were shot over chroma key backgrounds, a technique involving a green screen to compose two or more images together. As director of Amnesty International's 50th anniversary spot, Carlos conclusively conveyed the message of humanity, freedom, justice, and hope through the medium of stop motion and digital animation. The story is told on a wall, which acts as a canvas and at the same time as a metaphorical or not so metaphorical division of two realities, an ideal one and, unfortunately, a real one. The main idea was to have different aesthetics, given the different nature and time of the episodes that take place on the wall. To achieve this, different styles and animation techniques, such as illustration, 3D animation, and stop motion, were used throughout the film. Carlos loves working with real elements, and usually uses the computer only at the end when it all comes together. The wall was made out of wood, cardboard, and wire. To give a sense of depth, the perspectives were deformed in the real model. To shoot the wall, the team used a CineSlider, a piece of equipment that can be programmed to repeat the camera path countless times, each time with the exact same motion. Armed with a CineSlider and a vision, Carlos and his crew produced the powerful imagery that speaks to what Amnesty International is about. From a technical point of view, the most complex stage was the integration of so many different animation techniques and their compositing over the real footage of the wall. The stop-motion scenes were all shot in reverse. The team took pieces away from the wall as they shot, brick by brick, and then played it back. Based on the idea of having a wall as a canvas, they also use other elements such as posters, shadows, and objects that come to life and detach themselves from it. Some other elements, such as fire on the poster, were shot directly on the wall and later used as real footage. As for the flower that withers at the beginning of the spot, a 4-day time-lapse reference was shot of a real withering carnation that they later recreated as a 3D element. The puppets were also shot frame by frame, with markers and tracking points on the eyes to later replace them digitally with real eyes. Once all the shot and animations were composed and edited into the timeline, the final step was to work on the transitions from one episode to another, adding sound, camera, and optical effects.
The main idea was to tell the story of mankind's struggle to keep their right for freedom. Then I came with the idea of a wall as a very clear example of something that is blocking our way to what it seems to be a perfect world. I also used this wall as a blank canvas in which the different episodes of the story will take place. Behind the wall, a world of light and freedom, and on the other side, death, injustice, and despair. Flower can wither and die, but its seeds will bring life to a new one. I always liked the idea of a man struggling to regain the lost paradise.